Moving on to the next, baby. I think this one you're gonna like this one a lot too. This one's very controversial.
Not controversial in a bad way, but controversial. Because I'm pretty sure we said some pretty controversial stuff. Okay, here we go.
Men are better at raising children than women, and it's an unpopular fact. The truth is, children that grow up in a single father household or a household with both parents are more likely to succeed than children who grow up in a single mother household. So fathers are better at raising our children, and they need to be in the children's lives. Stop fighting with the dad. Stop making problems for him to be around his kids. They literally need him to be better human beings.
What do you think? True or false?
Uh I she didn't need to say that first part.
Well, they're talking about single parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, if a single parent, would the kid be better off with the dad or the mom?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I understood it as bitches ain't shit.
No, it's just saying that like the kid would be better off with the father raising, but versus the mother. That's what she was saying.
Oh,
What do you think of that?
I think that's interesting. Maybe there's some truth to it. I mean, you would have to just look at statistics, but I think ultimately, it's like the father and the mother be together and work shit out and grow together and commit to building a family that first, right? And then, but if there's separation due to people can't be adults, then it should go to the whoever the more mature person is, and that's always going to be that's kind of tough to say too, right? Because everybody believes they're the hero of their own story. I don't know. That we would have to look up statistics on that one.
So I know some statistics out of this. So they were saying that kids that was raised by mothers, they are tend to be have more. They're more empathetic, but they're not as driven, and they're more like free, right? So they're most likely to be in trouble, to get in trouble, and either get somebody pregnant or get pregnant. Versus a guy has more discipline on the child and more like a work ethic, so they're most likely going to be successful. Versus like on the mother side, it's like more like let free and like lay back.
Interesting. Yeah. Sounds.
But yeah, for sure, both parents are definitely more ideal for sure.
Yeah. Cool, man. Good video. You got another one?
I know that's it.
All right.
But wait, what's your take on it again? Like, do you think it's true? Do you think it's not true? Do you?
I can probably see, if a dude is, in his right mind and he's doing what he needs to do. I mean, just because guys are wired that way, they're wired to just fucking work. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know, bottle all your emotions up and just fucking work and move forward, right? And then I can probably, I even see it in my own, family that, my wife, it's harder for her to discipline and be very stern, right?
Yeah.
It's just not in her to, get the kids to do what they fucking need to do in the moment, right?
Right.
So I can see, some truth in that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's I wish we had actual statistics for us to talk more about it. But yeah, man, let's go to the next video, man. Let's go to yours.
Tight. Anybody say anything in chat yet?
No, man, it's pretty
Pretty dry.
like the desert.
These are words.
Okay.
It's funny because like I feel like since we moved on to this the Discord stuff instead of going straight live on Facebook, uh it's tend to have less engagement for some reason.
Interesting. Well, that's the thing, right? On desktop versus on the phone is really the only difference from when we first started this. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. But Facebook is definitely not pushing it. But it's cool. We're not. This should be. I think I'm glad we're doing this because we're doing this to episode. Today's episode 7. I didn't know that. We're pushing our content, so that's what matters.
All right, dude, you're gonna like this one, man. I think this is the one you're gonna like.
All right. Let's do it, baby.
Okay, don't cry, dude. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
These are words from a psychotherapist that I will never ever forget, and I want to share it with you all. And she says, when you're not used to being confident, confidence will feel like arrogance. When you're used to being passive, assertiveness will feel like aggression. When you're not used to getting your needs met, prioritizing yourself feels selfish. With that being said, your comfort zone is not always a good benchmark. Wow.
Nah.
Yeah, it's true, man. I can relate to that, and I can relate to that. For sure.
Yeah.
What is it? Passiveness could turn into aggression. I think that is so true. Because I don't think I practice assertiveness enough. I mean, I have been practicing, but it's a little bit intimidating in a way. But then, like, it should feel normal, you know,
Yeah.
especially whenever I'm shooting. Um, that's something I need to work on more. I actually need to look into that more, to be honest.
Being more assertive.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and being okay with it, you know,
Yeah.
because I tend to look back on it and be like, oh man, I was really aggressive for some reason, you know.
Yeah. It feels that way, but like in the grand scheme of things, right? Because I think the second point and then the third point really resonates with me, right? The second one, she said, when you're used to being passive, right, Mr. Nice Guy, you know, assertiveness will feel like aggression. I was like, man, that feels like me. You know, I don't want to be pushy, right? Whenever I'm trying to get my point across, or mostly that, right? I'm trying to get my point across. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if I speak in a certain dialect, it's gonna feel like, me being aggressive or mean, you know. And then the second one is, let's see, she said, when you're not used to getting your needs met, prioritizing yourself feels selfish. And then, because
That was deep.
I'm always like, I'm trying to look out for everybody's, right, for everybody else's best interests, and I forget, I kind of put myself into the background. But when I say I want to do something for me today, then I kind of feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I've done something wrong, by loving myself first. And then so that man, I was like, man, when she said that, I watched that a few times, cried a little bit, and I was like, this is good, man. And then lastly, she said, your comfort zone is not always a good benchmark, right? So as we're self-improving and as we're growing as human beings, like we have to realize that sometimes, where you think you're good in the place that you are, maybe double check yourself. So that was good.
Yeah, that's true, man. I think there's a pros and cons into that mindset because I feel like being comfortable isn't the greatest place to be at. But also like balance it out from working too hard. You know what I'm saying? Because like sometimes I feel like I should never be comfortable. I should always keep on going and going and going. And I feel like that could be also an overdrive. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, balance, man. Balance in life. That's really all it is to it, dude.
So why do you feel like right? Why does it feel like aggression when you try to be assertive?
I think it's part of my childhood, man. Everything kind of comes down to my childhood, you know. I think and the traditional values that Hmong people already have, and like me growing up with my dad and having older brothers, like, it's always great to be polite, you know. So being polite is being
Yeah.
rewarded, you know what I mean? Getting rewarded versus in the real world, being polite is getting stomped on, especially if you're out by yourself in a big group that you don't know. I mean, politeness, kindness is a real thing, you know. Of course, be kind, but being passive is known as weak, and you will not get your way if you are passive. Be kind, but being passive will not get you anywhere far from life. So, and yeah, you gotta be aggressive, man. You gotta stay aggressive to push forward. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why, you know, and I'm not blaming it on the Hmong people, but I think that's kind of why, you know, Hmong people are not really that far ahead in life because we're just too passive. You know,
Yeah.
we're being too humble in a way. You know what I mean? And not saying, "Hey, I need that promotion," or "I need a raise." In
Yeah.
reality,
Yeah.
we do want to say it, but we just kind of being passive with it. "Hey, maybe I should just keep on working and not say anything." And that's the Asian traditional way, you know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why this our generation is so hard because we have these two aspects of the American lifestyle and then the traditional lifestyle, and like you know, growing up as an American and being yourself, you have to go back and kind of you know, okay, why am I this way, and going back to your old roots as a traditional Asian and unlocking those and changing it at the moment. You know, like these moments that when it happens, you have to change it because like if you don't change it or if you don't notice it, you're always going to be on autopilot, being passive again, and you're gonna come back at night and be like, why the fuck, why didn't I say something? I wish I could have said something. So one regret that I we good example and regret that you know growing up me being very passive is um, reading out loud in class, man. I would have said something. I wish I would have been like, you know what? I want that extra credit and I want to read, you know. But the side of me was just kind of like, you know what? I'd rather not. It's all right. Yeah. You know, I always look at that kid and like, fuck, man, I don't want to be that person. Because that, honestly, if I was just to say something, I think my life were to change slightly, slightly.
Yeah.
My attitude were to change. Yeah.
I agree, man. I think all of that is just kind of like the internal wiring of what makes people successful, right? Is
Yeah.
encouraging people to speak up or encouraging people to share your opinions, right, in a healthy way. So all these communication skills, right, is you don't need to be maybe sometimes you do need to be mean and assertive, right, or aggressive, and that should a
And that's
child,
okay.
and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the situation calls for that, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, anyways, right? For me, like I grew up, a lot of what you said, resonates with me because that's kind of how I grew up too. My mom's always like, you know, don't be too loud, don't be too brash, don't be too,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, don't make a scene, right? Don't, what I'm saying? All these instillment into my being of being quiet and not seen, and then I see, when I when my mind shift to be more outspoken, be more charismatic, and be more take up the space of the room, and then let people know you're here, right? And also back that up with skills, of course. But and I see that, right, with those kind of behaviors, right, then you get noticed more. Things come to you more naturally, right? I think it's the law of attraction, and so
When people some people when they people see that shit too, like when they want that, they actually turn you down and try to kill your charisma.
Yeah.
And those are the dangerous things too, because like if people aren't used to that and they know they want that and they know you're doing it, they will try to kill your charisma. Unless that's why finding real friends is so important, because the friends that support you doing that is the key to who you are, you know, or what you want to do or what you want to practice on. Versus you'll find those snaky people, man. You'll find those.
Okay, so then the next one, right, was prioritizing yourself feels selfish. Do you feel like it's selfish when you put yourself
Uh,
first?
Yes, yes, yes. It is selfish. It is a selfish move. You know, it is selfish. But I don't think selfish it should be a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is selfish. Yeah, I am. I am gonna do this instead of hanging out with you guys. It is selfish. You know what I mean? Like, but I need to do this. I need to be selfish. You know, like it's not a bad thing. You know, and a good example, man. I don't have family here. I don't have a lot of family here in California. So like, I don't have really any other obligations to do. Like I don't go to family gatherings. I know I can't. You know, I don't go to barbecues. I don't go to weekends to go drink or things like that. Right. So like everything that I do here is very selfish. I mean, like I do everything for me and that's it. Other than like maybe helping out family financially, but other than that, like everything, the time to myself is me, 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 me. You know. So I like it. I like it. But I'm not saying I don't like family time as well. You know,
So in a
I make time for
relationship,
us.
would you say your needs are being met? Like, cause after,
Mm.
actually before that statement, she says, when you're not used to getting your needs met, prioritizing yourself feels selfish. Is what she says. So, like for me, why I feel like that is because I have to take care of the family, right? And so when I think of
Yeah, you
myself,
got a family,
like,
man.
dude, like I want to go hiking. I really want to. That's one thing that I want to do, but I haven't done it since I left Oklahoma. you know.
God damn.
Yeah. That's why I gained 15 pounds, dog. I'm not
Yeah,
exercising
dog.
anymore, But then, and so that's the thing, right? Is that like me taking time to do, what I want to fucking do. I feel a little bad for it.
Yeah, that's a bit tough, man, because you do have a family. You know, I think that's different obligations. Because like once you're a dad, dude, like you barely have time for yourself, man. And if you do want to go hiking, you're gonna feel bad for not taking the family with you because it's a family. It can be a family thing, you know. So I can see that. Um, but it's really important for you to take your time for yourself too. You know, like example like you doing this podcast. I think that's kind of like time for yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but I think hiking you alone is really important too. Um, but it's not. It is selfish, but it's much needed.
I think that term. I think there's probably such a negative connotation to the term selfish, right?
Yeah.
And then I think there's a time and a place for being selfless and being selfish.
Mm.
And I think in taking care of oneself and loving yourself, right? I think that's kind of a concept that I'm trying to understand more. Loving yourself, right? So maybe that's part of it, right?
That's great, man. Um, Loving yourself, man. Self care, self love, bro. It's very important.
Did you?
That was a good video.
Cool. Moving on to the next one, dude. This one,
Let's go for it. Let's
this
go for
one,
it.
this one's gonna be good too, dog. You like this one, dude?
Did you notice that you had the most friends when you were the worst version of yourself?
Did you hear that?
Shit, I don't know, man. Nah, I think about it.
You wanna? Okay, let's watch it again.
Did you notice that you had the most friends when you were the worst version of yourself?
Man.
Was that true to you?
Huh? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. I don't. I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when was the worst version of myself was.
So do you have more friends now than you did 5 years ago?
I probably have more friends 5 years. Yeah, more friends 5 years ago for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that was like the worst version of me though. You know?
A lesser version, or yeah. What about that? A lesser version doesn't
Um,
necessarily have to be like the worst version, but
I don't know, man. I don't know when the I don't know.
how
I
did
don't know.
you how did you perceive that video?
I think that video could be relatable to some people.
Okay.
But me personally, I couldn't pick out a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So for me, man, I was just scrolling through TikTok, ran into that one. I was like, cause like man, dude, like the other day, I was talking to my wife. I was like, I thought about it. I was just we were in the kitchen just chilling,
Yeah.
or cooking or chilling or some shit like that, right? And then I was just like, huh, I don't have any friends. And then she was like, I don't either. And I was like, dude, we only have each other, dog.
You
Because
know, man. I think in marriage, it does become that way though. I think marriage it is like that though. I feel like whenever when I was dating my girl, like it was just me and her, you know,
yeah, okay.
and maybe a couple friends, but we barely even talk, you know. So I think that's normal for marriage. I think it's normal.
I don't know, man. Probably, maybe. But I feel like because like just within the past 3 years, man, I just been trying to focus more and more on myself, right? Focusing on this mental health and loving myself, and then just kind of figuring my next move, to create legacy, right? And in that 3 years too, it's just kind of been a journey for me of self discovery and learning how to appreciate what my dad did for me and what my grandparents are doing, and figuring out how I want my legacy to be. And then and in that journey, I've cut people out. I've stopped giving my time and attention to people, right? I stopped showing up to family events and stuff like that, because I'm working on stuff, right? I'm working on me. I'm working on this, our podcast that we're doing. I'm learning shit, and so and that's taking so much of the time to maintain these friendships that I used to have, right? Or maybe I thought I had, right? Because even I remember even when me and Paku we first got married, we were going out having fun and finding time to be friends, right? To people and stuff like that, to go to social events and shit like that, to go to family events, went to all of them, and then it's only until these recent few years, I've decided to just cut all that out so that way I can focus on stacking my money and focus on growing my skill set and focus on this brand that we're building together. And then so so when I saw that video, I'm like, man, dude, I knew a lot of people. I was acquainted with a lot of people, right? I can always reach out, shoot a message, get a response, and this and that. But now like that's why, like, for me, networking is like something I don't do. I haven't done in such a long fucking time. And then so I saw that video, man, and I was just kind of like, man, how because like how I perceived it, right? Because the term that they used was worst version, and now I'm working on a better version of myself. And I feel like as I'm climbing, right, as I'm growing, right, like people aren't growing with me, right, these past friends or past acquaintances, they're still doing the same shit, and so that's how I perceive the video. It's just that as you grow, you kind of lose people along the way,
Yeah, that's true. I think finding the quality friends, because like I got what you mean. I think once you start to grow and want to proceed on something, or like grow on something, those friends has to have an impact on what you're trying to get to. You know what I mean? Because if they're just fun and games, then they're always going to be fun and games. And if you don't have time for fun and games, then you're not going to connect with them like that anymore. Like, a good friend of mine, Tracy Hang, shout out to her. She's a businesswoman. She's always striving for more. She's a good friend of mine. We talk sober. Like we don't have to be we don't have to be drinking all the time. We can just have a normal conversation about helping each other grow and helping the business. How can I help you? How can you help me? What are your ideas and what are my ideas? And how do we help each other out? Because if as a friend, if you're always bullshitting around, then there's always going to be bullshit. Like that's only going to be last so long.
Yeah, man.
So having the quality friend person is going to benefit you definitely long term. And I feel like I have been looking at the wrong places. But yeah, man, quality friends, man. And to this day, too, actually, if I think about it, one of my homies, Lon, he does photography with me. We talk a lot about photography and business, and I call him a dear friend. He's one of the quality friends that is more genuine. But we're always drinking, man. Swear to God. Always drinking. Always doing coke. Like, no flakes. But I'm gonna go back to him, and I think we could work this out sober, So,
Okay.
yeah. So quality friends, dude. The topics are really important. I think people who are helping you strive to be better in your business and yourself are going to be the one that's going to be more locked in you long term, other than fucks and jokes.
Yeah. Cool, man.
That was a good video, man.
Okay. Well, I hope this next one will be better than the last one.
Let's go for it.
You might have seen this one. This one is kind of going around.
People are just walking in front of it like we're not recording.
It happens. People are people. None of it's intentional. Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence. It's far more likely that they're all in their own worlds, doing their own thing. They're not paying attention to the world around them. And we all do it every day, whether you're driving, walking down the street. All of our lives are just as complex as everybody else's. Everything you have going on, they have going on. Nobody knows what everybody else is going through. We also need to be a little more self-aware and aware of the world around us.
That was deep.
You gotta look deep to find the deep things. If all you ever do in your life is stay at the surface, you'll never find anything worth exploring.
Are you real?
I try to be.
Are you an AI?
No, not at all.
No, that was tight, dude.
Yeah, that was a good answer, man.
That boy was just like boom, 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 dropping gold nuggets, man, of wisdom, dude. And the next question, he was just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, damn.
This guy seems like he's been fucking smoking a lot of fucking weed,
Yeah.
thinking about life, bro.
His third eye
Fucking
is
looks
his
like-
third eye is open, dog. That's woke. That's woke right there.
He looks like he goes on hikes and just like fucking smokes and just stares and thinks about life. And
He looks like he talks to the trees and the winds, dude.
yeah, bro, he looks like he's from the
That boy,
trees, man.
that boy in tune, man. That was so good, dude.
It's true, man. It's true. I think a lot of people, including myself, think that there's something wrong, or like have a lot of anxiety. I want to say anxiety is going to be the key word to this because anxiety is just basically predicting conflict, right? Predicting what's going to go bad in the future or the next couple of minutes. But reality, man, nothing's going to happen. Nobody cares. Go record, do your thing outside. Nobody cares, you know. And that's what I got out from that video.
Okay.
That video is pretty deep. Video is pretty deep. It's a lot of truth, but there's got to be a lot of practice.
I'll read it for you, right? What he says. So the guy walks in front of them, and then he's like, "Man, can you believe this guy? You know, walk right in between the camera, you know, like we're not recording." And he says, "None of it is intentional. Never attribute to malice. What can be tribute, but what could be a tribute to incompetence? It's more likely that they're all in their own worlds, doing their own thing. They're not paying attention to the world around them. And we all do it every day, whether we're driving, walking down the street. All of us are just as complex as everybody else. Everything you have going on, they have going on. Nobody knows what everybody else is going through. So it's about being a little more self-aware and aware of the world around us." I was just like, man.
Yeah, that's true, man.
And I think, right, so why that just kind of blows my mind is just like, you know, as we're all just kind of because right on the internet, you know, everybody takes the narrative of I'm right, you're wrong, you know, and then if you go against me, right, then I'm gonna cancel you, you know. And there's never any conversation there, you know. It's always kind of like a tug of war, you know, of who's right and who's the smarter one and who's the better one, and so and when people try to make dialogue in person, it's that way as well, you know. People who are trying to be woke, you know, try to cancel each other out, you know, and without even being open to the idea of perhaps, you know, there are other solutions to what I'm, you know, trying to tackle, right? Or perhaps I may be wrong slightly, you know. Nobody wants to take that narrative, or nobody wants to be vulnerable and open enough to say, hey, maybe this isn't a learning opportunity for me, right? Because we all, I don't know, maybe something fucked up about our society where we have to take the high ground and just kind of look down on people or you know, fucking shit on people. Because like, dude, I see it in the comments, especially in that one video that that's going viral right now for us, you know. And it's just kind of like, it's weird, you know, that there's statistics out there and studies out there that are showing, and then they're not even making an effort to have a open conversation, you know. I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
But no, that's true, man. It's true, man. Self-righteousness is the enemy, because people want to be right. Because it's weird how it's just in our DNA is to want to be right. You know, have you ever laughed at somebody when they fall down, when they hurt themselves? You laugh. You ever wonder why you laugh?
Because it's funny.
But how is it funny? They're getting hurt. They're hurt, right?
No idea.
They fall, right?
No idea. That's wild. Yeah.
It's part of like the like ha ha ha. You're the one that's getting the pain. You know what I mean? You're the pain. You're suffering. You're in pain. That's why I'm laughing at you, because it's the same thing. How like the hierarchy kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm up here and you're down here, kind of thing. So it's like that laugh is there. I mean, if we kind of go around it, like, oh, that is kind of funny when somebody jumps and falls. Like, but if you really think about it, like, why do we laugh?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's a weird concept, man. It's a weird concept, but it's in our DNA that we can't escape. That's what it is, man. Like, what we have to acknowledge our DNA. Like, okay, we humans we operate this way, and we go in a hierarchy kind of way, kind of like wolves. And it's fascinating, man. Human beings, even with gorillas and chimpanzees, man.
I think that's the thing where like the self awareness piece, right, is questioning why do I think this way, or why am I doing this way, or why have I chosen to react in this kind of way, right? I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And then that second question, the dude says, if he says, okay, the interviewer's like that was pretty deep, and he's like, you gotta look deep to find the deep things. If all you ever do in your life is stay at the surface level, you'll never find anything worth exploring. I'm just like, you know, and that's, I think that I guess mentality can be, you know, carried over into having conversation or when you're in the comment section, you know, to question things, you know. I guess going off of what you said too. So
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are not willing to dig deep, man, because life is so easy. Life is just the easiest in the 20th century, bro. And it's pointless to go deep. Why go deep when you are okay?
yeah,
Why go deep? You know, and that's why passion is dissipating so much from
Oh, yeah.
people's lives. Because like, I don't need to go deep on my passion. I don't need to go deep because there's already a person that does it and does it better than me. I can just view and watch them do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm okay where I'm at. You know. But if you look at that and you take it to your advantage, and if you understand that concept, man, you can go as far as you want, dude. You can go as deep as you want. It's your choice. You stay in the surface, or you can go deep.
And that's what all these reels are, man. It's just surface level stuff. You know, swipe every, you know, like the reels are like or the reels that we put out is like less than a minute, you know. I remember having an argument in the comment section. I was like, dude, this is not the full version. What I said, what we say in the full version is actually kind of what you're saying. They're like, man, fuck you. You know, I'm just like,
Yeah.
the link to the full version is on the bio. Go to the bio, you know. But
Right.
but people aren't willing to go deep. They just, you know, move on to the next thing, you know, or read headlines, you know, and not even read the full article. Right? The paragraph is the full article, and is oh man, wow, dude, it's wild.
I wanna touch on one last topic before we go here. So, what do you think is gonna happen in the next maybe 5 years, man? Because like you know the Apple goggles the Apple goggles came out,
Okay.
and we're already so attached to our phones, right? Imagine it as just being on our head 24/7. Like, what do you think? How do you think the world's
Wow.
gonna change?
Yeah,
How do you think the world's gonna change?
that's
You
interesting.
know what I mean? Like,
That's an interesting
imagine
thought.
just.
Because right,
I mean, it's
like
gonna come true.
because right, because now you can take the technology, integrate it into your life, right, and then as you're having conversation, something can pop up into the corner that the other person's not seeing, right, and then and stuff like that. Like maybe you can look them up, right, and then as you're kind of side scrolling and looking at the person you're talking to, or you don't have to even talk to interact with the person. You know, the goggles can probably identify just kind of what the fuck is going on, you know, as you're driving or as you're walking or as you're just, you know, being you. I think it's wild.
You know what's even more crazier? And this is kind of thinking more the negative side, right? So let's just say your goggles gets hacked, right? And then somehow humans are dumb, okay? I'm not saying we're dumb. I'm saying like
Humans.
but like let's just say you have the goggles on and all of a sudden there's like alert, it's hacked, like, oh, kill this guy, this guy's a murderer. And, oh shit, all of a sudden like these people are reacting to a random person that they don't even know, and they just saw a video about this person, like all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
things like that could happen. Like
I think there's a
because
movie
face
about
detection.
a movie about social currency or some shit like that, where like
Oh,
how you
Black
behave.
Mirror. Black
Oh,
Mirror.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, that was yeah. I
just
know what
like
you're
that.
talking about.
You know, and where you look at people and then you check out their social currency, like in real time. And you're
Shit,
just like, oh
man.
shit, I'm not gonna associate myself with them. You know, it's gonna lower my scores. You know, so I'm gonna go the fuck away from this person, right? And so like that.
That's true, bro. I think it's gonna come to it soon, man.
I think China has something like that already because they have cameras everywhere. You know, and so these
Yeah.
cameras are always recording and looking at people and stuff like that.
Scary, bro. Now that I think about it, man, like there's a lot in the future that I don't think I want to be in. Like I'm glad I'm dying soon. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Just,
So I won't
just,
be a slave
just
soon. I already am, technically, but I'm gonna be even more controlled in a way, And
it's gonna be interesting. I think the people who are gonna win are the people who are committed to self improvement. You know, if you're always working on your
yeah,
skills. I mean, if you're not a fuck up, or actually, I think the point where it might be scary too, right, is that like people are gonna try to dig into your past, because I was a fuck up in my past. I'm not a fuck up now, but in my past I was, So I think that might come into play. But I don't know. Maybe it might be for the best or for the worst.
I don't know. We'll see, man. Let's after this whole Apple Google thing, I think it's gonna change the world. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's gonna do another change, man. The iPhone changed the world already, and Google's gonna
It's
change
gonna
it.
be definitely an interesting decade, man. Because right, you imagine 10 years ago, what we were 20.
I
How
mean, the
life
MP3 barely came out 10 years ago.
10 years ago was
Oh
2013.
shit, 2013. Um, I think I still had like a regular phone.
It was an iPhone.
Maybe
That's what we
maybe an
made.
iPhone.
That's what we
Maybe the
made.
first iPhone.
I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah,
first or second. No, it's not the first iPhone. It was probably the iPhone 3 or something.
yeah. One of those.
But
Maybe the five. Maybe the four. I don't know, man. But yeah, dude. The world's changing so quick, man. Even 20 years ago seems so long, but it's actually not that long ago, man. 2003. My niece is in college about to graduate. Man, that's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy to even like think about, man.
yeah.
But
That's
anyways,
a good question.
yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get a Apple. I'm gonna be the first one to change, and I'm gonna start working for my goggles.
So you're gonna be a sellout. You're gonna be a sellout. You're gonna sell your data to Apple, and you're gonna contribute to the takeover. That's what it sounds like.
The reason why I'm doing that is so that I can learn about it and tell people not to do it. That's the true
You're gonna be the mole.
reason why.
I gotta go in and infiltrate from the inside.
That's the truth, man. And I'm gonna tell you guys all about it, how great it was, and how fun it was, and how it changed my life,
Oh man,
and tell you not to do it.
that's hilarious, man.
Uh, yeah, man, that was a good episode today, man. Today was a fun episode. It was fun. Sorry, there's a lot of technical difficulties, man. We're trying to fix it for episode 8.
Man, yeah,
Episode 8 is gonna be good, bro.
cool.
But yeah, man.
All right, with that being said, thanks for joining in on this episode of the Make It Rain podcast live stream. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Peter.
I'm Frankie, and make sure to join our Discord, guys. Our Discord has everything in there. We put anything from your side hustles to just memes to conversations, events. Everything is on Discord. If you want to contact us, it's on Discord. Trust me, guys. I know we're starting out small right now. We love doing this. We love creating this content for you guys, and I'm telling you guys, the first people that join us and just like show us love, man. We really appreciate that. People, especially our Patreon. Shout out to your cousin.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
he's been he's been funding us, man.
You know, he actually was a part of the first round of when I started the Patreon. So he was already funding that years ago, and then I paused
awesome.
it for a very long time, and then when I renewed it, he was still on it, and I let him know, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Shout out to the cousin, bro. Shout out to the cousin. I'm low key a subscriber as well, but it's for an investment. It's an investment. It's a $5 investment, for the group, man. It's not going anywhere. It's gonna build up. So
Cool, man. With that being said, man, signing off.
all right, guys. Remember, join the Discord, guys. See you guys soon. Peace.